Hey, and welcome to Bush Kiddz. We're out on a walk again today, just getting some fresh air along the canal, and thought just have a chat about foraging and some of the rules to foraging in the UK. So we've got a number of challenges in our Fabulous 40 challenges that has a connection to foraging. One's around foraging itself and looking for wild edibles and other things. So just wanted to give you a perspective. The legal side of this and law is quite complicated, but I'm just going to give you some general points, 4 general points to what you should be thinking of if you're going out foraging. Okay, so the first point that I want to make around foraging is something that we call the 4 F's of foraging. Okay, so what we mean by the 4 F's of foraging is that we have a common law right to forage for the 4 F's, which are flora, flowers, fruit, foliage, leaves, etc., and fungi. So just like the common law, you say there's some common sense to be had around this as well. So even when you're foraging for those 4 F's, it's common sense not to take everything that you find. And actually, what you can't do is forage for commercial use and to sell on. So you can only forage for your 4 F's for personal use. And the common sense here is, if you see a bunch of certain plants or leaves or flowers, then don't take them all. Use your common sense. Okay, so the second point that I wanted to make was that you cannot uproot a plant. It's illegal to do so. So whilst we have the right to forage for the 4 F's, what we can't do is uproot a plant. Unless, of course, it's on your own land, in your own garden, and you're the landowner at that point, and you can give permission to do it on that land. Okay, so the third thing that I wanted to point out was around property and property ownership. So whilst you have the right to forage for the 4 F's, as we've said, if you're on somebody's private land, you could be trespassing, and therefore you can get into trouble for that. So it's always worth checking on who owns the land, and if you do intend to forage on that land, it's probably the decent thing to ask the landowner for permission. And of course, then you won't get into trouble for trespassing on the land. Okay, so the 4th point, the last point, is actually to do with local bylaws. So some land will have local bylaws, and it should be well marked or well advertised what the bylaws are, which may stop you from foraging or going on the land, full stop. So it's always worth checking on that. Also, surrounding bylaws could be a site of scientific interest, and if there's a site of scientific interest, then it may be that the plant or the land is being protected, and again, you shouldn't be foraging on that land if it's a site of scientific interest. So like anything else, we're giving you this information just to give you a bit of information to guide you with some rules around foraging, not to put you off at all or to stop doing it at all. So if you want to turn this into a challenge for your child, then what I would suggest is, why not get them to listen to the video and then create a poster with the 4 F's and show us and draw us the things that is in the 4 F's, and that is fruit, foliage, flora, and fungus. So maybe you can get them to do a poster with those 4 things and draw us some examples of those 4 things, and have it go towards the Fabulous 40 challenges. See you soon, and take care.